Hello and welcome to my October daily spending. It looks like this was a pretty expensive month. I haven't done my final budget yet. However, it does seem that we have overspent in a lot of categories. But while making this log to keep myself accountable of our everyday spending, it did seem like we went for a couple of stretches of time where we weren't making an automatic purchase or running out to the grocery store. So I think that's at least progress. So let's just jump right into all of the spending that I've done this month. Hello, it is Tuesday, October 1st, and so because it's the beginning of the month, of course, that means that most of our bills are coming due very soon. But first, we had all of our interest come in for the end of last month, and that totaled to $168.14. And then our first expense was car insurance, which is always charged on the first of the month to my credit card, and that was $156.98. Also, we had our internet, which was $29.99. And finally, as I mentioned in so many of my videos last month, was our Azure standard bulk order, which they finally withdrew from our account because it should be shipping out this Saturday or Sunday. It should be arriving, and that was $393.61. That was the final total of all of the items that we bought, minus the discount and plus the shipping fee. So that was all of our purchases and income so far on the first day of the month. Hello, it is Wednesday and my first payday this month. So my take-home pay was $3,384.93. And it's a good thing that I got paid today because our mortgage came out, and that was $2,705.45. Also, I had my $5 Acorns recurring contribution come out today. And that's everything for income and expenses for today. Hello, it is Thursday, and I just got gas for the first time this month, and it was $28.89. None of our other automatic payments came out today, so that's all of our spending. Happy Friday. We didn't have any expenses today so far that I've seen come out of our account. We only had income, $12.19 from our FSA reimbursement, and then my husband's paycheck for $2,179.66. And that's everything. Hello, it is Sunday, October 6th. We didn't actually spend anything today yet. However, I didn't make an update yesterday. But yesterday, my husband bought a tool that he needed at Harbor Freight for $26.49. And then he bought some cough medicine, which was $4.29. Right now, he is picking up our bulk order from Azure, and I am so excited to finally get that. He spent the day washing our buckets so that we should be able to unpack a lot of that bulk food and store it. I think he did say that he might go out to the grocery store again tonight and get a few things, but I'll add that to my update tomorrow if he does. Here's our bulk order. Let's see, we have chickpeas, 25 pounds, flour, 25 pounds, more flour, emmer grain, also known as farro, lentils, 13 bean soup mix. Oh, I don't think that was part of our order. The rice. I think we already had that. Oats, 50 pounds. Dishwasher gel. 5 pounds of walnuts. 5 pounds of cashews. And 5 pounds of peanuts. Another Monday and another week of work and paying for daycare, which was $300. Also, as I mentioned, my husband's grocery trip last night was $30.71. Other than that, we didn't spend any money today. Hello, it is Wednesday, and I just finished up work. And today, my husband went to the grocery store over his lunch break and spent $46.80 on some stuff to make me some Italian wedding soup. And I think that's about it for the day. Hello, it's Tuesday, October 15th. And yesterday was a holiday for my husband and my daughter and banks and the federal government, but not for me. But because of the holiday, I didn't pay for daycare until today, so that was $300. And our car loan actually got deducted today as well instead of yesterday. So that was $311.07. I don't even remember when the last time I made an update was for purchases. I think it's been quite a few days. I know I didn't purchase anything over the weekend. My husband was camping, so my daughter and I just hung out at home and we went out walking a little bit, but we didn't go anywhere and spend any money. But that's it for this brief update. It is Payday Wednesday. So today, $3,384.94 hit our account. And also, we earned interest of 25 cents in our other account. And then our electric bill was drafted today. And for some reason, that was $167.23, which was less than we anticipated. And I think it was because with the budget billing that we're in, at one point we had been overpaying. Now we're underpaying, but at one point we were overpaying. And so there was a balance in our budget billing. And so our electric company pays us interest when there's a balance. But if we have an extra balance in there, we don't actually end up owing them any interest. So it kind of works out in our favor when we overpay for our budget billing. But we've been underpaying for a long time. And so I'm expecting our electricity bill to be increased in the next couple of months for that reason. But having a little bit of a discount on our electricity bill this month is pretty helpful. But that's everything today. Hello, it is Friday, payday for my husband. So that was $2,179.66. And then he stopped at the grocery store this morning for, he should have just bought organic apples and bananas, and he spent $12.37. That's so that we can make an apple cake for my daughter's birthday party this weekend. And that's everything we've spent so far today. If we spend any more today, then I will update you tomorrow. Hello, it is Monday, October 21st. I didn't do any updates this weekend because we were just so busy with my daughter's birthday party. But my husband ended up going to the grocery store twice on Saturday. He spent $13.68 the first time and $15.70 the second time. I know that he purchased like mini cupcakes for our daughter to take to daycare for her birthday celebration, and then just some basic produce like onions and stuff. And then I spent the weekend baking a cake and we went over to my parents' house to paint and carve pumpkins um, with the rest of my nieces and nephews and my siblings and stuff. So we had a pretty busy weekend, and so I didn't make any updates. And then today, I just paid for daycare. That was $300. I forgot to do it this morning, which I'm supposed to pay first thing in the morning, but I did it just a few minutes ago, and I'm about to pick my daughter up now. And then, as I was checking to see if we had any other purchases come out automatically today, I noticed that we got 2 cents in interest in our checking account. So that's about it for our income and expenses today and this weekend. Hello, it's Tuesday. Um, we didn't make any purchases today, but we made a purchase over the weekend on Amazon, and because it was delivered today, they charged us today. We bought a water filtration system for the house. Hopefully, because we have well water, there's a lot of sediment in it. And so we bought a filtration system to hopefully protect the life of our appliances that we've just replaced. So that was $176.11, and my husband will be installing it. So at least we can save money on the installation costs. But we didn't get any income or anything today. It's just another basic Tuesday. So that's everything. It is Wednesday, October 23rd. I didn't make any purchases today, but last night I remembered that I needed to renew my car registration. So I paid for that last night. That was $221, which I only have to do that every 2 years, but I'm pretty sure the price went like way up. I think it was like 125 or something the last time I did it, maybe 175. So seems to be getting a lot more expensive to renew my car registration. But I need to drive, so I had to pay $221 in order to do that. But that'll be for 2 years. Won't have to do that again for another 2 years. I also got a notice that I need to get my emissions tested, but that's like $14. I have to get that done by December. So, some point I'll be updating you on having paid that. But that's everything for today. It's Friday, October 25th, and I didn't make any purchases today, but it feels like I'm always coming on here and saying, last night my husband went to the grocery store, because he spent $12.95 at the grocery store last night after I went to bed. So, but that's all of the purchases that we have so far. But if he goes to the grocery store again tonight, I'll be sure to update you. Good afternoon. It's Thursday, and no automatic payments today. I think we're mostly done with that for the month. But today my husband bought wood pellets, which is what we use for the rabbits for their litter boxes. Usually I don't mention that. We usually buy them just once during the year, and usually that's around this time because they're usually not available in the summer because they're typically used for people to heat their homes. But we use them for rabbit litter. They're like $7 a bag. But my husband spent, I think it was $27.92 on them. They were on sale, so he loaded up for hopefully all the pellets that we will need for the whole month. But that's everything, I think, for today so far. Welcome to my garage. I stopped for gas on the way home and spent $27.75. It's Friday, October 25th, and I didn't make any purchases today, but it feels like I'm always coming on here and saying, Last night, my husband went to the grocery store because he spent $12.95 at the grocery store last night after I went to bed. So, but that's all of the purchases that we have so far. But if he goes to the grocery store again tonight, I'll be sure to update you. Good evening. It is Saturday. We had a pretty productive day today. My daughter slept really well, so she had a couple of long stretches of naps where we were able to get a lot of things done. So I did a lot of food prepping for the week, making my lunches, making her lunches. But we did stay in all day, except for my husband. He went out and donated platelets this morning, and while he was out, he stopped at our grocery store, which is nearby the donation center, and he spent $53.60 on groceries. And he bought things like decaf coffee, which is what I drink almost every day, and then sweet potatoes for our daughter, um, a lot of mushrooms and kale for the meal that I made today that I'm going to be eating all week long, and then our standard bananas and onions, which we always like to have on hand. And then he also swung by another grocery store where we know that we can get a couple of things a little bit cheaper. And he picked up some soy milk, which we're going to start introducing to our daughter since she's a year old and she can drink milks now. And then I like to eat these digestive biscuits with my chai on the weekends. And so he picks those up at Lidl as well. He spent $7.42 on 2 packs of biscuits and 1 container of soy milk. But that is all that we spent today. Happy Monday. We've had a bit of a whirlwind of a day today, but I'll get into that in just a bit. First, although I didn't record yesterday, we had a little bit of spending. First, my husband went to the grocery store and spent $7.96. I think this was mostly on tofu. Not really sure exactly what he bought. And then I paid my daughter's hospital bill. That was $655.04. I may have mentioned it earlier. We had received another hospital bill like a month or two ago, and I wasn't sure if it was something that we actually owed or not because we had paid one bill that was very similar before. So I was waiting until we received a breakdown of what all of the charges were before I paid for that. And so I finally just went ahead and paid for that this weekend. So that was yesterday. And then for today, since it's Monday, I paid for daycare. That was $300. And then the truck payment was $311.07. And so we left work early today because my daughter had her 12-month checkup. But when we got to the doctor's office, she actually had a fever. It was just about 101, so it wasn't too bad, but they couldn't do the checkup. They just did a regular sick visit, and the doctor prescribed her antibiotics for the runny nose that she's had for a couple of weeks since the last time she had antibiotics for her runny nose. But we also paid for that last doctor's visit, this doctor's visit. That was about a month ago that we went. And so when we got that bill, we were just waiting until we went to this appointment to pay for it. That was $120.74. So I guess we're expecting another doctor bill for about the same from this visit. Her like wellness visits and like annual checkups, we don't have to pay for those because they're covered fully by the insurance. But anytime we go when she's sick, then we have to pay. But then my husband will be picking her up some antibiotics tonight. But then after her doctor's appointment, I took my car to get looked at because a couple of weeks ago I was rear-ended again. And so um, they had to do an estimate of the damages. And then after that, I was going to go vote for early voting, which started, I think, last week in our state, but the line was way too long. So I figured since I have to stay home tomorrow at least because she has a fever and can't go to daycare, then I can probably go out and vote tomorrow because I don't really want to be missing work specifically for voting. So going to the early voting is just much more convenient for me. But that is everything for today. Hello, it is Wednesday, Payday Wednesday, October 30th. So this is the third paycheck that I've received this month. And as you can tell, I'm not in my car because we took another day home sick today. My daughter still has a fever, so it looks like we will be out the rest of the week. So I'm wearing one of my Halloween themed platelet donor shirts for Halloween tomorrow as I just hang out around the house, resting with my daughter. I have a little bit of a cold also, if you can tell from my voice. We spent the day mostly just resting. My daughter, her fever has been spiking up to about 102, and then it goes back down with some ibuprofen or some acetaminophen before it goes back up again after a couple of hours. But she's been in a pretty good mood. Only been able to sleep for about an hour or so at a time during her naps instead of the usual 2 to 3 hours. And with the rest of the week off, we can just take it easy for the next few days. So, since we're homesick, we haven't been going out and doing any spending. I had two automatic expenses come out though today. My Acorns had a roundup, and so that was $5.06 that was transferred to my brokerage account. So I guess again, technically, that's not really spending; it's more of a transfer. And then the $1 subscription came out as well. And then for income, as I mentioned, it was payday. So that was $3,384.94. $236.22 went to pay my retirement account loan, and $20 went to the FSA. And speaking of the FSA, we got one of our reimbursements for some cough medicine that we bought a couple of weeks ago, and that was $8.29. So that was spent from the FSA and reimbursed back into our checking account, which I'll put back into our health sinking fund. Oh, and I didn't update yesterday, but after our doctor's appointment with the antibiotic prescription, my husband went to pick that up at CVS, and that was $7.68. And we put that on credit card, but I've already submitted the reimbursement to the FSA, so hopefully we'll get that reimbursed within the next couple of days. They've been actually pretty good recently. Usually it's like a whole process and they reject my claims all the time, but they've been pretty good recently with accepting the receipts and paying us back. So that's been nice to get that because coming up on the end of the year, all of the funds in the FSA will be expiring. So we're trying to use them all up. And although we don't want to be getting sick, that's been happening these past couple of months. So we have been able to use that. And it's nice to use the tax advantaged account for our health spending so that we get a little bit of a tax break for that. But that should be everything for today. Happy Halloween. We're off work today again because my daughter still had a fever through most of yesterday. However, it finally broke towards the end of the night, so she's feeling a lot better today. So today we went out for early voting and voted. So as you can see, got my sticker Also, I'm wearing my Halloween platelet shirt, my other one. Actually, my husband got me this one because I haven't been able to donate platelets since I got pregnant. So, um, but we didn't buy anything today. I don't think we're going to go out shopping after this. We're just going to go head right back home. Um, but we got a reimbursement from our FSA for $120.74. That was for the doctor's appointment that we submitted last Monday. I actually submitted it before I paid for it. But that's the thing with the FSA. They don't want receipts, they want bills. So I'm able to submit before I actually make payments. And then we also got a $25 credit card reward that hit our account today. So that's everything, I guess, for the rest of this month. So, wow, that was a lot. Let me know in the comments how your October went with spending. I'll be coming out with my budget recap in just a couple of days. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed, then please hit subscribe because I would love to have you follow along. Thank you for being here.